new equipment, and it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play it against sports at 48th and Vine.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Way out there where the sun comes up under the big red sky. I do life the way I love, with family by my side. I feel home with me, no matter where I go.
Proud of where we're from, excited for where we're going. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
All right, Lincoln, if you're a diesel technician who's ready to earn up to $40 an hour and you're tired of working nights and weekends, listen up. Inland Truck Parts and Service is hiring experienced diesel technicians right here in Lincoln, and they're offering what every hardworking tech wants. Monday through Friday hours, no nights, no weekends, and paid training on advanced diesel technology. With 37 locations across 12 states, career advancement opportunities are endless. Start building towards your future and apply today at inlandtruck.com. That's inlandtruck.com. Or text APPLY to 785-369-1320.
Want to make the easy call? Call John Henry's. From leaky pipes to a broken AC, flickering lights to furnace fights, even drains and duct cleaning, we've got it handled. Plumbing, heating, air, and electrical, all under one trusted roof. Proudly serving homes across Lincoln, Omaha, and surrounding areas, and ready 24/7. Visit calljh.com or call John Henry's.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating,
and Electrical.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today. Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Imagine starting your day with a computer glitch that leaves you feeling stuck, frustrated, and unable to get your work done. You have 1,000,001 things to get done today, and waiting for the tech issue to solve itself isn't one of them. It's time to let Hamilton handle the tech so you don't have to. We help businesses across the state spend more time on what they do best and less time frustrated with office technology. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we're focused on providing custom solutions that set you up for success now and in the future. Connect with us today at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
Lincoln's go-to for fun isn't new. It's a place that's been a staple of the city for years and is only getting better. Matson's Bowling and Billiards always has open bowling available with no long lines unlike other centers. They have live music almost every weekend and great food at EJ's Bar and Lounge with seating for 150 people. They have popular meals like the EJ Burger, pizza for the whole family, and famous EJ's Wings. Contact Sarah to book a party for friends, coworkers, or family at Matson's Bowling and Billiards just south of 48th and Holdridge.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
It's been a busy day in sports. A lot has happened while you were up to your eyeballs in work. Catch up on what went down in Nebraska athletics, college sports, and your favorite pro sports leagues. This is Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket, sponsored by Canopy Street Market. Here are your hosts, Harrison Ahrens and Derek Pearson.
It is not Harrison Ahrens and Derek Pearson here tonight. It's Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman. Welcome, everybody. Past the 11 o'clock hour here in the capital city. Chilly day. Very chilly day. As we just crowned a college football national champion down in Miami. The Indiana Hoosiers have won a college football national title. What a wild statement to say. If I said that a couple years ago, you'd think I was crazy. But here we are in the year of 2026, January 19th, 2026. Again, Nick Whyman, Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman. You can listen live on Facebook, X, YouTube, Allo Channel 961. Let's get the text lines going. 402-464-5685. If you're listening, text in. Let's see, what was your reaction to Indiana and Miami? I mean, that was you'll get my opinion here in a bit. That was a classic of a football game. Really good game down to the wire. You couldn't ask for much more in college football. I was afraid Indiana might pull away and just handle business like they have all playoff. You saw it in the Rose Bowl against Alabama. Saw it against Oregon. Handled business from the jump. And this is just, I mean, it's a storybook season for Indiana. And this is, I'll get into this. I don't think this is it for Indiana. I don't think this is just a one-hit wonder. Kirk Cincinnati is going to win one title and then that's it. I think it's more than that. I think this may just be the beginning of Indiana football as a powerhouse program. It feels like they're in that trajectory where they haven't hit their peak. And they went undefeated and beat a really good Miami team. But this may not be it. This is just the beginning for the Hoosier football program. 402-464-5685. Text in here on 93.7 The Ticket. There was a text in earlier from the day, from before the show. It basically said, the only thing that could be better if tonight was a game that was on a Saturday night. Yeah, I mean, the schedule for college football, Chris Raff on Raff's Good Take on Sports, Des Moines Pearsonell and Don't Punt Hour talked about that as well. Having the game on a Monday night, I know they've done it for years, and they've done it, the March Madness, the NCAA basketball championships also on a Monday night. It just always has been, and it's just a weird situation where the NFL playoffs are also running into that scenario. It is just a scenario where they have to play it on a Monday because the NFL is taking over Saturday unless the NFL somehow tell the NFL, hey, play your games at noon and 3, and then we'll do the nightcap and have the championship on, ESPN Network should have the championship then. I agree with that. I really like to have a Saturday night. I would say the same for March Madness, where you could probably play like a Thursday Final Four and then a Saturday championship game. Because the Mondays always are just weird because it's like the next day is a Tuesday, and the college football calendar is just thrown off as a whole because, there's really no good way to put about it because the bowl games start in December, wrap up on January 2nd, the playoffs going on in the middle of that, and then the championship game is not until, mid-January. And next year it'll be on the 25th, which is even later. There's a week off between the quarterfinals and the semifinals. And then the transfer portal you throw in there, you have coaches taking different jobs. It's a conversation that needs to be had with the NCAA. Just the full, you're getting players opting out, you got coaches leaving while their teams are in the prime of their season, where they're in the championship. Lane Kiffin, for example, Ole Miss makes it to a playoff for the first time in how many years, and they run into their coach leaving and Pete Golding having to step in, and kudos to them. I mean, they could have folded and they did it, but What a championship game. There's another text that came in here. How much influence, we had 67332 said, how much influence do you think Mark Cuban influx of lots of money helped this football team at Indiana? I mean, we don't know if that just started now. There's really no information on that. I mean, will it impact them in the future? Yes, 100%. In this day and age of college football, that will definitely influence how you win. You know, teams are pay to win, essentially, and pay to get their players, essentially. But this Indiana team, last year at this time, Kurt Cinetti comes in, takes the job. They ask him during his famous press conference, what are you going to do to bring in recruits? I win. Google me. And he's backed it up since day one. That same time frame, he goes to an Indiana basketball game, basically says, I'm going to beat Purdue, which is one of the biggest rivals of Indiana. It's a rivalry, in-state rivalry. And then he goes, I'm going to beat Ohio State and Michigan as well. He backed it up. He beat Ohio State, went undefeated this year, won the Big Ten title, and finished the season 16-0 and undefeated. He's only lost 2 games in his 2 years there. He lost to Ohio State in the regular season of 2024, and then lost in the playoff to Notre Dame in one of the worst games that Indiana's played that year. Outside of that, they have just found ways to win. Was every game this year were they the most dominant team in college football history? No. No, they were not. But they won games. Penn State went on the road, tough environment, beat them. Big Ten championship game down to the wire, beat them. Playoff games, I mean, they are the second team. I saw a stat on ESPN, the second team in this format to not trail at all in the playoff. They handled business. I mean, Alabama in the Rose Bowl, people thought Alabama were they were going to challenge them. And from the get-go, it wasn't. Indiana proved that they were a powerhouse. And kudos to Miami, though. That was a heck of a football game. I mean, Carson Beck come down to the wire, ball in his hands, intercepted to end the game. I mean, their defense stood their ground, and it was a football game that, it was an awesome championship game. I was afraid we were going to get another blowout, and people are going to complain, a Monday night blowout game, which there's been plenty of those. Your Georgia's versus TCU game that scarred college football fans for a long time when that game got out of hand. But we got a ton of texting here, man. You guys at 11 o'clock on a Monday, man. I mean, the championship game wrapped up just under an hour ago, so of course there's a lot of people still up, and that's why I'm here. That's why the ticket's here, where we can talk. We can talk one-on-one, and I can read your text out to the air, and we can talk about this. It's a conversation, you and me. 402-464-5685 on Starter Heyman Jewelers text line. You're going to send, and we have another text from, was it here? We got 0432 said, what do you think Dylan Ryan will transfer to Oregon to be a backup? A little different conversation there. At the time, the portal was kind of evolving, and Dante Moore the time was ticking. We'll jump on that topic here just to get the question out of the way. I think it's good. You sit behind Dante Moore, had to sit behind Dylan Gabriel. That's a good system to be a part of. Obviously they didn't win a national title, but you have a team that is they're a stable program. They're going to contend. They have high expectations as a whole. You have a team, you sit behind a guy like Dante Moore. Dante Moore, like I said, he came from UCLA, transferred in, sat a year behind Dylan Gabriel. Oregon won the Big Ten with Dylan Gabriel, lost in the playoffs. So be it. Comes in as a starter, getting his, he started some games at UCLA, but finally got his crack at Oregon and made the semifinals of the playoff. And that if he sits a year, so be it. If he wants to develop himself, it's rare in this day and age of college football. I'll say that. We're going to talk about that. Guys want to transfer and go play where. That's the part that kind of surprised me with Dylan Raiola. But, it's his decision to make. And it did, was there success at Nebraska? Was it a complete failure at Nebraska? Depends how you look at it. Some people thought it was like this was the saving grace of the Husker football. But he did get him to a bowl game, which was a huge step in where the program has been in 10 years. Got Nebraska to a bowl game, won the Pinstripe Bowl. This year, If you don't include Dylan Raiola, do they make a bowl game? I don't know. That's a different conversation to have, but they did make a bowl game, lost in the Vegas Bowl. Dylan Raiola's on to Oregon. But yeah, yo Nick, we got a text from 8147. Yo Nick, Justin here. Justin, shout out Justin. One of my buddies chiming in here. This is cool. Obviously wanted to see Indiana win it all. Unbelievable turnaround. However, I'm not as happy as I thought I'd be. Does doing it with billionaire money and other teams' players diminish it for you? I can still see a Cal quarterback when I look at Fernando Mendoza, and that makes me a little sad. Yeah, I mean, Mendoza has a famous clip of when he was at Cal, and he's talking about how much these teammates meant to him. He still talks about it to this day. He still talks about how much Cal football meant to him. And he had a game. I mean, they hosted College Game Day a year ago during his season with Cal when they played Cam Ward, Miami. They lost that game, not because of Mendoza. It was just the team just couldn't get Cam Ward off the field, and Miami kept scoring and scoring and scoring, and they couldn't get off the field. It is a weird scenario where it's going to be quarterbacks are not going to be. I mean, we see it next year. I mean, Josh Hoover's coming in to play quarterback for Indiana, former TCU quarterback. He was slinging it with the Horned Frogs. I mean, we saw it week 1 in that Labor Day game against Bill Belichick in the North Carolina Titans. Josh Hoover and that TCU team felt disrespected at that point. TCU, I mean, they had the year they had. Josh Hoover's going to come into the system, and he's got to, they have high expectations for him. And that's just how it's going to be with anybody who comes to this team now. This team defied the odds of college football because Indiana winning a championship wasn't on my bingo card. I'll say that. I didn't have Indy. I maybe had them in the playoff. Kind of like maybe some people probably thought last year was their peak where they sniff the playoff, get blown out. They're a first round and done team. This year proved that last year was the building blocks of this team. The team, they just keep winning. Kirk Cinetti said it day one. I win. Doesn't matter where he's gone. He's been at Elon, James Madison. Here he is. He just keeps winning. Keeps on winning. I don't know how. I mean, this is before they even have raked in 5-star players, like a full juggernaut squad of teams. This is all coaching and development as well. This is a coach that's devoted to football. It's his life. It's a crazy scenario where, you just pick and plug James. I remember when Nebraska played him last year, and Nebraska lost when Curtis Rourke was the quarterback for the Hoosiers, and it was like, oh, it's just a bunch of James Madison guys. But he developed them. Doesn't matter. A lot of these quarterbacks in college football we transfer come from smaller schools. It's just how it is. Curtis Rourke was in Ohio. He was a MACtion quarterback. And he led Indiana to be a playoff team. This year, Fernando Mendoza was playing for Cal, and Cal football, they've had some names. They've had Davis Webb, who's now a quarterbacks coach in the NFL. They've had Jared Goff, who's obviously a top pick, still playing in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers, he's an NFL legend. Regardless of how you look at the last couple of years, what he did with the Packers is, after what Brett Favre did, however you look at it. It's just unbelievable that, Fernando Mendoza called this a group of misfits. And they won the national championship. They beat Miami, a really good defense. And Carson Beck, I can get on to him too. He did throw the pick in the end, but he played a clean game until that last play. If you were listening in the 10 o'clock hour, DeMornay and me kind of watched along about an hour ago. We were watching along, and we were like, man, this could be a huge moment for a guy like Carson Beck, he's won it where he's been, but, he has a lot of hate, but he's a winner. He wins games. The games they lost this year, the 3 they lost, kind of fell on his shoulders. This game, the offense didn't. 19 of 32, 1 touchdown and a pick, 232 yards for Carson Beck. Wasn't enough, but, went down trying until the end. Fernando Mendoza, he didn't have the best game either. Heisman Trophy winner, probably the number 1 pick, probably going to the Raiders, I would say. 16 of 27, 186 yards. He did have that rushing touchdown where he dove into the end zone, literally just body on the line, throw himself on the line out there. And that was a moment to put him up 10 at the moment, and Indiana defense held strong. Also, Justin saying, are there any reasons why Kirk Cincinnati isn't the greatest coach of all time? I want to go that far yet. I mean, it is one. I mean, it is 2 years. I mean, you still, you still have your Bear Bryants, your Tom Osborne's, your Nick Saban's still up there who have years and decades of winning behind them. This is 2 years. I think if you argue development, I mean, he's got to be up there. I mean, I was trying to debate what this is comparable to, because this is a team where is unprecedented. I was thinking like Miracle on Ice, USA doing that. I was thinking in soccer terms. I know there's not a lot of soccer fans here, but the English Premier League a couple of years in 2017, Leicester City won the entire thing, and they are no longer in the Premier League as of 2025, 2026. The Premier League operates off, the teams like Manchester United, Manchester City, Liverpool, Arsenal, those teams who are, have the money to pay for a team, pay to win, and they win year in and year out. Man United's a little down, but Leicester City winning that year was improbable. Remind you, text line here, 402-464-5685. We got a couple more minutes here left in this first segment where I was dedicating it to the football, and we're still talking about Indiana. We could talk about Indiana for all night if we really wanted to. If you guys want to, we can, because it is the topic, but we'll move on to other things like the NFL playoffs. Obviously have been amazing. There have been some great games in the NFL playoffs. NFL coaching cycle. We'll talk about that in the second segment. I'll wrap up with some basketball to close out the segment. 5317 says, is Indiana's roster what Nebraska roster looked like back in the 80s, 90s where the stars didn't matter? This is going to bring in that formula back. I mean, to an extent, he develops them. Stars, I mean, we've seen time and time again where 5-star quarterbacks come into, like Malachi Nelson. You went to USC, Boise State, never played, really, because he sat behind guys, and now he's on like his fourth school. He was supposed to be a 5-star or 4-star or whatever he was. He was supposed to be the guy, supposed to be a really good quarterback. Now he was at UTEP last year, and UTEP was not great, and now he's transferred somewhere else. The stars don't all. I mean, stars are awesome. Like, they'll read the rankings and the recruiting. But that doesn't define you. Like, we've seen guys like Josh Allen. The guy had nothing, and now he's playing. They lost in the playoffs. Don't get me wrong. Again, for the Buffalo Bills, we'll get into that in the second segment. But he's playing in the NFL. He's getting paid millions of dollars. He wasn't a big-time recruit. Brandon Mendoza wasn't a big-time recruit. This guy grew up in Miami area. Could have walked on at Miami. He didn't. Ends up at Cal, goes to Indiana, gets the keys to the kingdom there for a year, wins the Heisman Trophy. And here he is. I mean, Cignetti will be. I mean, if he's going to develop guys, then so be it. If you're winning, you're winning. That's what Kirk Cignetti said since day one. 0432 back again. Thanks for chiming in again. He says, is this the start of a dynasty for Indiana if they win, or a 1 year peak? I mean, I kind of touched on at the beginning of the show. They are a team where last year, everybody thought last year was a nice little story. Indiana's in the playoff. Congrats on getting it to the playoff. This is the best you'll be in the Big Ten because the big boys of Ohio State, Oregon, etc. run this conference. Indiana just backed it up year two. And Cignetti's not missed. I mean, look at the guys they bring in. They missed. And they're bringing in Josh Hoover. They're bringing in Nick Marsh, a wide receiver from Michigan State who is very familiar with the conference, very familiar with Indiana football. You got a quarterback who could sling it again. And if they have the money back, the Mark Cuban alleged money, and people starting to buy into the Kurt Cignetti football program, sky is the limit. We don't know. We'll know more next year around this time. If Indiana's back or not, I don't know. It could be a 1-year wonder. We don't know. It'd be really cool if it's the start of a dynasty because there hasn't really been a college football coach since Nick Saban to put together something like this. You had your Tom Osborne's, your Bear Bryant's, and you've had, it'd be cool just because it shows that no matter, you can win. You can win no matter who you are. And that's what we wanted to see difference. I remember when the new playoff model came out and you had your Clemsons and your Alabamas, Ohio State, Oklahoma, always making the 4-team playoff. And this was supposed to expand the field and make it more, get some more parity in college football. The last 3 years, Big Ten's won the big one in Michigan over Washington, Ohio State last year, and now you have Indiana. It's a crazy time for college sports in general, just because you see what Indiana's doing here in football. Nebraska's, we'll touch on that later in the third segment before we get out of here tonight. Nebraska basketball ranked in the top 10, 7th now in the AP poll. It's such a wild time in college athletics, because it felt like for years you had the same handful of teams just being in the playoff, or, there's 126 plus teams in the FBS level, but only 4 teams or 5 teams had a chance in the 4-team playoff model. And then there was always a discussion of who got left. There always is going to be a discussion of who got left out. But this created parity, and that's what people wanted. And now you have that. You have parity in college sport. You have Indiana football you have a basketball school, Hoosiers. You have a basketball school going undefeated, standing atop of the college football world. Before we go to break, I'm just going to kind of do a little quick rundown of the game, NFL countdown style, just real quick. So begin the game. If you didn't watch it, first quarter was only 1 score. It was a field goal by the Indiana Hoosiers, put them up 3-0. Following that, a 1-yard run by Indiana gave them a 10-0 lead right at the end of the half. So a 10-0 half was wild to see, just because it's like, is Miami's offense going to do anything? Well, the second half came Mark Fletcher, 57-yard touchdown run in the third quarter, 2-play drive, cut the deficit to 1 score. However, special teams played a factor. A blocked punt by Isaiah Jones recovered. Indiana goes up 17-7, sending it in the fourth quarter, where Mark Fletcher again finds the end zone, 17-14, just to begin the quarter. And then the Mendoza touchdown, 4th down, put the team on your back, run it in, 24-14. I mean, that score is awesome. It felt like that was kind of a momentum swing. That might be it. But no. Malachi Toney, you knew he was going to be a big name in the wide receiver core for Miami. 22-yard touchdown pass from Carson Beck with 6:37 to play, 24-21. Miami holds their ground with under 2 minutes to play. Another field goal for the Hoosiers, 27-21. Around 90 ticks left on the clock. Carson Beck's got the ball across midfield, throws an interception. Ball game. Indiana finishes the season 16-0. What a wild, DeMore and Amy were reacting to it. It was an awesome. Unprecedented for them. Congrats to Indiana. The Big Ten holds the title. You love to see it. Crazy times. But yeah, when we come back, we'll talk about the NFL playoff weekend, recap what happened there. Talk about a little bit of the coaching carousel still moving on. There's been 2 jobs filled, 3 now. The Dolphins hiring their coach tonight. But another job opening up, which was kind of surprising for a lot of people on this Monday. Crazy times. Remember, 402-464-5685. Text in. We'll talk about the NFL coming up after this break. You're listening to Late Night in Lincoln here on 93.7 The Ticket.
MHC isn't a new company, just a new name. Mo's Moving is now Mo's Home and Commercial. Whether moving across town or across the state, MHC Moving has you covered, specializing in home, apartment, assisted, and independent living moves. MHC can handle your commercial moves as well. MHC Moving has 0 hidden fees. You'll never pay for same-day booking or be charged for stairs, heavy items, or elevator fees. Rates are the same Monday through Saturday, and you will never pay a truck or fuel surcharge. And they offer payment plans through PayPal. Call MHC Moving today at 402-853-7167 or go to mhcmoving.com.
Hi, I'm Scott Miller, Business Development Officer at Midwest Bank's Lincoln branches. As a lifelong Lincolnite with over 30 years of experience in financial management, I'm here to help your business grow and succeed. My focus is building strong relationships with businesses and clients across Lincoln. Because at Midwest Bank, we believe banking is about people, not just numbers. Visit us at midwest.bank or stop by one of our Lincoln locations. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
This is Bill Mitchner, Executive Director of Lincoln Lighthouse. Did you know Lighthouse provides multiple programs for students such as one-on-one tutoring and mentoring, as well as pro-social skill exercises, while providing them a nourishing meal and a safe space during all months of the year, even during school breaks? Learn more or contribute to Lighthouse at lincolnlighthouse.org today.
Ready, set, Ford just announced 0% for 66 months with approved credit on all 2025 Ford F-150s at Zollner, Fort Beatrice. Save thousands in finance charges. If your current pickup loan's 4, 5, 6% or more, trade in today and receive 0% for up to 66 months on a brand new 2025 Ford F-150 of your choice at Zollner, Fort Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
Is your furnace ready for winter? Call Bryant to perform a thorough check for comfort and peace of mind. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Whatever it takes.
There are so many realtors in Lincoln and Omaha, but don't get overwhelmed by all the no-names, plus all the different companies. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Real Estate is your go-to option, whether buying or selling residential, luxury, leasing, investment properties, or commercial property, small or large. Ben's team offers decades of experience, unbeatable customer service, and promises to fully protect your interests throughout the entire transaction. Call 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador Real Estate.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arons and Derek Pearson.
Welcome back into the 93.7 The Ticket Studios. Nick Whyman here, holding it down. Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman. We're going to have to get that changed at some point, but we'll get it changed. We'll get it figured out. So this is the hour. You're with me. We just talked about the college football playoff, college football season ending. Indiana Hoosiers winning the national championship. Crazy situation where the Hoosiers are on top of the college football world. While we were at the break, we have some breaking news in the NFL world. Per Adam Schefter, the Titans are working to finalize a deal to hire 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh as their head coach. Saleh spent Monday in Tennessee with the Titans, and the two sides impressed each other enough to move forward together. So before the break, I said 3 head coaching jobs. There are now 4 field, with John Harbaugh going to the Giants, Kevin Stefanski to the Falcons, Robert Saleh going to the Titans to link up with Cam Ward. Now Jeff Hafley, the defensive coordinator from the Packers, going to the Dolphins. Which those are the two hires today. I mean, Hafley going to the Dolphins. I mean, I was curious if the Dolphins would maybe take a swing on another AFC East coach that's in the pool right now. We'll get to that here in a second. But instead, the Dolphins go in that trajectory with a very interesting decision, especially how the Packers season unfolded. And the Titans, I mean, you got Cam Ward, rookie quarterback, going on another coach, which never is really a good thing when you're switching coaches and coordinators, et cetera, with a young quarterback. And now you're doing that again with the number one pick. He went from Brian Callahan getting fired midseason, now going to Robert Saleh, who his tenure in New York with the Jets didn't end pretty. And he was fired midseason in 2024. Interesting. Just touching on that, I think that's a very interesting hire just because Saleh is a great defensive coordinator. 49ers, the reason that 49ers team had so many injuries. Fred Warner was missing time. There were so many guys out, yet the 49ers still made it to the divisional round of the playoffs with a bruised and battered roster. Head coach, the Jets, the whole Aaron Rodgers situation was a mess, and then it was just not pretty from the get-go. So now he'll be going to the Titans. Maybe he learned something from there. I don't know. Time will tell. It is a Robert Saleh going to the Titans. Wasn't what I was planning on talking about here to this 15-minute segment, but here we are. What I was going to get into is Sean McDermott. NFL playoffs, we could talk about those games as a whole, too. Everybody's talked about those games all day. Those games over the weekend were awesome. Most of them. The Bills and Broncos. Was it a catch or was it a interception? The Brandon Cooks. 402-464-5685. Throw in a text. I'm curious what your thoughts on that play with the Bills and Broncos that decided, gave the Broncos the ball back, and then the Broncos went down the field and got in the field goal range. Crazy play. It'll be talked about forever. Bills fans, I'm sorry that you have to go through that. In a year where Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson are not in contention, they fall on the road to the Broncos, led by Bo Nix, which are now going to be led by Jarrett Stidham. We can talk about that for another day. We can talk about Jarrett Stidham for a whole segment if we really wanted to, because that is a situation where unprecedented situation for the Broncos. Remember, 402-464-5685, the text lines here. Also comments on Facebook, YouTube, X, and if you're watching on Allo Channel 961, thank you. This is awesome. Awesome opportunity to be here. But yeah, the Broncos and Bills, what a game. Comes down to the wire. Broncos hold on. That's one thing. Broncos are going back to the AFC Championship game, getting to host it, and then about an hour after the game, quarterback, hey, Bo Nix, he's out for the year. I will say from my state, I thought that was fake. When I thought it was one of those, I thought I got a fake tweet that I thought I ran into. And I was like, there's no way that Bo Nix is hurt. And then when I found out it was real, I was wondering, when did this happen? And now you're getting a situation where you're throwing a guy in Jarrett Stidham. No, he's been in the NFL for a long time, veteran quarterback. He's been on the Patriots, the Raiders, and he's been with the Broncos for a couple of years under Sean Payton as a backup. He's being thrown in the AFC Championship game after only playing one snap all year. And that one snap that Jarrett Stidham played was a kneel down. Unprecedented. There was Nick Foles' situation a couple of years ago, but he played in regular season games once Carson Wentz went down with that injury. And Nick Foles at that point, he was a journeyman quarterback already. He already played for several franchises. He played in NFL games, had multiple. I think he had a 7-touchdown performance at one point in his career. Now you have Jarrett Stidham, who is, he's played in a couple games. He started a couple games. Has he done a lot in the league since? No. But now he's going to play the Patriots. The one thing going forward, I think, with this AFC Championship game that's very interesting is the Patriots all-time are 0-4 against the Broncos at Denver in postseason play. Tom Brady always ran. He ran the Jake Plummer one year, ran the Peyton Manning. So history is on Denver's side there. It is such an interesting. It is so interesting just how that we got into this point where Jarrett Stidham and Drake May are your final two. And everybody before the season was said, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. No, it's Jarrett Stidham and Drake May. Crazy. Got a couple texters in here. We got 0432 back at it again. Thank you for chiming in, man. This loyal listener. I appreciate you. He said, this isn't Bills Broncos, but does this playoff performance change how the Bears should approach the offseason? So Harrison Arns, who's in here usually on Ticket Week nights, he is off Mondays now. He's a Bears fan. I'd like to hear his opinion on it because he bought into the Bears hype, and he was right. They found ways to win. The Bears found ways to win. Caleb Williams had flashes of greatness. I mean, the play to keep the season alive, fourth down, runs back to the 40-yard line, chucks it up, and throws a touchdown to his tight end in the back of the end zone. What a play. Like, there's only so many quarterbacks where that play is possible. Like, when I was watching that live, like many others, saw the ball go up, saw Caleb Williams drop back, it's like, oh no, he's just going to have to throw something up here. And he voids the defense, chucks up. He had a play similar to the Packers game where he was falling down almost, completed a pass on fourth down to keep their season alive. I don't know. The Bears are in a good situation. Caleb Williams, a lot of people wrote him off after 1 year with Matt Eberflus as head coach. People wrote him off and were saying, oh, this guy's already a bust. Look at him. Look at Bryce Young making the playoffs. I mean, they won. They made games. They did lose to the Rams. I mean, he did throw a pick in the end and set up the Rams to get a field goal and win the game in overtime. But yeah, NFC side, real quick. Rams Seahawks. I mean, you can't ask for. These teams have already played twice. Second time they played was on that Thursday night football game. Classic game. Awesome game. Seahawks at home against the Rams. Cooper Kupp's now on the other sideline. McVay is trying to make it back to his third Super Bowl. Matthew Stafford going to try to win his second, get to his second appearance in a Super Bowl. The storylines are just amazing for this because if you would have told me quarterbacks, because quarterback position everybody's going to look at, if you would have told me that we were going to get Matthew Stafford in the Final Four, I would have believed you. I would have believed you. But then we got Drake May. Maybe I could see it. The Patriots peak. Got Mike Vrabel as the coach. Sure. Then you got Sam Darnold, who was on the Vikings a year ago, and he's bounced around the league. He was a backup for the 49ers for a bit, was with the Panthers. Obviously, he was a first-round pick by the Jets. Didn't work out. He's bounced around the league, starting to kind of find his form. Now he's 1 win away from starting in a Super Bowl. He was a backup when the 49ers made it. Didn't play. But he's 1 win away from going to the Super Bowl with Mike McDonald and that Seahawks team, which has a great offensive line. They have Kenneth Walker running back, Jackson Smith and Jigba. I mean, they're not going to have Zach Charbonnet because he got hurt and he's out for the rest of the year. But you have a great offensive line. You can run the ball, take the pressure off Sam Darnold, and you have a good defense. And the final quarterback, Jarrett Stidham. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? If you were to, the storylines of that happening, if Jarrett Stidham somehow gets the Broncos to the Super Bowl, and we have a 2-week buildup of Jarrett Stidham, like who is Jarrett Stidham? Like that is a story that is unprecedented for him starting a Super Bowl. They do have 2 other quarterbacks on the roster though. They with Bo Nix going down, they had Sam Ehlinger, former Texas quarterback. He was with the Colts for a little bit. He is the backup quarterback in case something happens to Stidham. Behind Ehlinger, then, who signed to the practice squad, is Ben DiNucci. Ben DiNucci was with the Cowboys in 2020, played a Sunday Night Football game famously, didn't play well, out of the league for the bit, played in the XFL, he played with the Seattle Sea Dragons, was a MVP of the XFL, ironic enough, made his way back in the league. I think he was broadcasting games for CBS Sports this year. So he was another veteran. He was with the Broncos for a bit in the preseason, but the Broncos quarterback situation could be the story of the season. I mean, will Jarrett Stidham, do I expect him to throw the ball around? No, I expect him just to game manage and try to use that defense. He has RJ Harvey. J.K. Dobbins might be coming back. It's a situation where you see that and you're just hoping he just doesn't turn the ball over like what Houston did, where they put the ball on the ground or threw a pick. 4 picks in the first half for C.J. Stroud. So the NFL season, I mean, this is a wild season. It feels like the last couple of years has been Chiefs, Eagles, Chiefs, Niners have kind of been your favorites. Just those teams kind of just finding ways to win. Now you have such an open field, and I think you have 4 really good stories entering the Super Bowl. Like, regardless of how those games go on Sunday next week, you have 4 really good storylines in place. You have the Patriots making the comeback up. Was it a long time they were down? No. They had 2 decades of dynasties, but they had a couple of years there when Cam Newton was the quarterback, and then Mac Jones and Bill Belichick leaves, and it was just not a good time. It was the lowest the Patriots have been in some time. Them making the Super Bowl with Drake May after the years of Tom Brady and that dynasty rolling would be something. The Broncos back a quarterback leading a team to the Super Bowl. Storyline itself. The Rams coming back, trying to win another one. Storyline itself. Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay and company back. And then the Seahawks. Cooper Kupp's back on trying to make another Super Bowl. Mike McDonald's had a great tenure so far with the Seahawks. And you have Sam Darnold, who's a journeyman quarterback, trying to lead the Seahawks back to the Super Bowl, which they've been to a couple of them. Russell Wilson. But that's a long time ago. Russell Wilson's played on 3 different teams since then. So crazy times in the NFL. That is just, those games I'm excited for. Just to see how those games go. So we're going to take our last break. When we come back, we'll talk about Nebraska ball. They are something. There's something cooking with Nebraska basketball, and we'll talk a little about them for the hoops and get you ready for Tuesday. It was a fun day. So thanks for rocking with me. Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman. We'll be right back.
Ready, set, Ford. Just announced 0% for 66 months with approved credit on all 2025 Ford F-150s at Zollner, Fort Beatrice. Save thousands in finance charges. If your current pickup loan's 4, 5, 6% or more, trade in today and receive 0% for up to 66 months on a brand new 2025 Ford F-150 of your choice at Zollner, Fort Beatrice, Nebraska's volume dealer with the hometown service you expect.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
You started your business to build something special. Now it's time to grow and protect it. At Pinnacle Bank, our treasury management services help you do just that. Through smarter payment technology, account administration, and fraud protection. So no matter the size of your business, you can get the most out of your financial operations. Request your free consultation at pinbank.com/consult. Pinnacle Bank, the way banking should be. Member FDIC.
Is your furnace ready for winter? Call Bryant to perform a thorough check for comfort and peace of mind. 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. Whatever it takes.
Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services is here to help you protect things that are most important to you. Whether it's your home, your family, or your future, Jack Russell has the proven experience to get the job done while developing authentic relationships with you. Give Jack a call today at 402-421-9100. Again, that's 402-421-9100. Or visit one of his 2 locations in Lincoln or Seward and learn how you can excel in the complicated world of insurance. Jack Russell of Farm Bureau Financial Services, a trusted and well-respected representative since 1999.
For remote starters, audio upgrades, and more, there's only one place to go. Auto Sounds of Lincoln at 48th and O. If you're seeking a career with a growing company, Dana Trucking and Excavating is hiring and looking for additions to their team. Dana Trucking has a strong team culture, competitive pay, 401ks, and benefits like health, dental, and vision. Drivers are guaranteed 40 hours per week, even in the winter months, and are home every night. Start your career today at Gaina Trucking and Excavating. Apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Don't wait. The clock is ticking at Landmark Implement's annual inventory reduction sale. For a limited time, get special financing as low as 1.9% for 12 months, then 6.2% interest for 48 months on select equipment. No auction, no waiting, just inventory price to move. Once it's gone, it's gone. Visit Landmark Implement or shop online at landmarkimp.com. Then click on the featured used equipment and experience the Landmark difference.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Nutrition Authority presents Fusion 30, an ultra premium protein ideal for anyone wanting to look, feel, and perform their best. Fusion 30 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today for a free sample, visit with a certified nutritionist, and get better than internet pricing. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Back to Late Night in Lincoln live on 93.7 The Ticket. Here are your hosts, Harrison Arons and Derek Pearson.
One more segment, Nick Whyman here. Late Night in Lincoln with Nick Whyman on 93.7 The Ticket. We got a little shout out here real quick. GBR captain, he said, Harrison TV, always acknowledge him for hanging out with them until midnight. Salute to you, man. Salute to you for hanging out with me. We're going to have a lot of late nights as I'm taking over the show pretty much for the most part, Monday through Thursday. It looks like you're going to see a lot of me going forward. Nice to see a familiar face in the chat going forward as well. I'm excited. This is awesome. I've loved this entire hour. We had a great day here. We had the Boulders on. We had Caleb Smith and Ridge Lovett. Good morning, Pearson L. Chris Raff. Good morning, me. Got to enjoy that national championship finale. Awesome championship. But here we are. Thank you, my brother. I got you in the chat. Nebraska ball. The men's basketball program ranked 7th in the nation in the AP poll. Highest ranking in program history. Program history has been a word that's been said a lot about this Nebraska basketball program. It is woven into the season. They continue to define everything. They passed the Illinois test. They beat Michigan State, held on against Ohio State. They blew out Wisconsin, beat Creighton. They've done it all so far. 18-0, ranked 7th in the nation. They're going to be back in action on Wednesday night against Washington. So Nebraska basketball is taking this state, the city by storm, the nation by storm. They are an awesome team to watch. A story of college basketball. Some people already got them projected as the number 1 seed in March Madness. It is unprecedented territory, and it's really fun to watch this group continue to grow as the season progresses. With that, we only have a couple more minutes left, but that game against Washington on Wednesday night will start at 8 o'clock. A little housekeeping. We'll have post-game after that, as always, here with Husker Hoops post-game show on 93.7 The Ticket. So that'll be a nice little midweek for everybody. We can get that one. And then you also have one on Saturday as well when Nebraska heads on the road to play Minnesota. Tough. That's a tough environment to play into. It's a road game. Any conference road game's tough. Nebraska just continues to find ways to win. So that'll be a fun one. And then after that, you look ahead. They go at Ann Arbor to play Michigan. That is kind of the game that everybody has circled on their calendar for the past couple of weeks. That's the, whatever. We have one more final question for the night. How big of an impact does Braden Frager have coming off the bench? And does he have the opportunity to win the Big Ten Freshman of the Year? Loving the show. I mean, yeah, he continues to elevate his game. No pun intended. This guy, played Lincoln Southwest, local guy, easy story to get behind. Enter the program early after high school, continues just the sky's the limit for the kid. And he is, when you have a guy like that off the bench alongside a couple other guys, they are just so good. And the women also play. I had them penciled down here. They go at Wisconsin. They're coming off a couple tough losses to UCLA and Michigan State, 2 teams who are having incredible seasons. The Bruins are going to be a favorite come NCAA tournament time. Michigan State having a season to remember on their end on the ladies' side. Nebraska is trying to get back in the winning column. They have lost 4 of their last 6. They've lost to USC, Iowa, Michigan State, and UCLA, all top 20 ranked teams at the moment. They play at Wisconsin and China on Wednesday night as well. So a nice Wednesday night for Husker athletics. So they get a little basketball in there. It'll be a fun night. I will say that. Wrestling also, they got a big weekend ahead. They got Iowa on Friday night. That'll be a fun one. That'll be Nebraska, Iowa wrestling all the time, every time, no matter the sport. Wrestling is a big deal. And when those two teams go out, then Nebraska, they'll have a day off, and then they got Ohio State in a wrestling duel. It's a jam-packed week. Those are just some of the sports I'm naming. I haven't touched on, but the spring game sounds like it's coming back too. That'll be fun to watch as well. Spring game allegedly coming back in the future. That'd be nice to have, but it's on the same weekend as the Elite Eight, so don't get ahead of yourself. But Nebraska could be in the Elite Eight, and the spring game could be on the same day. So, crazy time. Yep, GBR captain, Indiana football 16-0, Nebraska basketball 18-0. College sports. If you wanted, we wanted parity. We wanted parity in college athletics, and you're getting that right here, which is awesome to see. So, going forward, Late Night Lincoln with Nick Whyman. You'll be joining me. You'll be rocking with me for a while. Been an awesome time. This was great. Great night here on a Monday night. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the national championship. Get some sleep. We'll be back here tomorrow night. Late Night Lincoln with Nick Whyman. We'll see you on Tuesday. There should be another eventful show. Bring your questions, comments. I'm here for you. We'll see how that goes. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. Everybody else have a good night. Early break. We'll get you going at 6 o'clock in the morning. You'll see us here on 90.7 The Ticket.
Thank you.